Today's situation revolves around Raak00nz, also known as Abba. She's an 18-year-old artist with a beautifully unique style, and she's been posting her art on TikTok for a long while.
Posting your art on TikTok is always the first mistake. Yes, you can grow very quickly, but at the same time, the community you're growing in is toxic.
And after a check through of her account, it seems like she didn't receive much hate before. But on September 19th, she posted a drawing of Cinnamon Roll and Miku to get out of her art block. And that's when all hell broke loose.
Hey, you posted a nice piece of art on TikTok and all hell broke loose? Who would have thought? Who would have ever saw that coming? I mean, wow, that never happens. On TikTok, you say? No, not on TikTok.
Since, as y'all know, TikTok ignores the problematic people and the real issues and dogpiles on random artists just living their lives.
No, they'll dogpile on problematic people as well. It's just questionable what TikTok finds as problematic, because they can find anything as problematic.
Now, I saw this post and thought it was really cute, but one look at the amount of comments and I instantly dreaded the worst. And I was unfortunately right. I honestly thought it could be a one and done and they just leave her alone after that. But this is TikTok. How I can have that much hope is laughable. She received thousands of hate comments, many under the excuse of constructive criticism. Some even try to tell her to fix her own style. You can't fix what isn't broken. It's her style she intentionally chose, and she's happy with it, and that's all that should matter.
I don't think a lot of TikTok artists actually understand what a style is. An art style is just that. It's a style. It's your thing done your way that differentiates you from other artists. It seems that TikTok artists want you to have some kind of unified style that everyone likes and everyone enjoys. But when that happens, eventually people just start hating you. Remember the jelly style? Yeah, remember that? You know, the style that everybody loved and everybody tried to copy, and now everybody hates because everybody loved it and tried to copy it. You have to kind of keep in mind that a lot of artists on TikTok aren't artists. They're assholes who can draw, and there is kind of a difference. You and I both know it's true. It's damn true. Now, it could be because I'm older, I just don't understand the TikTok art community. But it could also be because I have some semblance of, I don't know, common sense. Hear me out on this. You can kind of tell that some of these so-called artists aren't artists because of how they actually treat art. I'm very open to artists. I'm very open to your process being whatever. You can be traditional, digital, even if you infuse some AI into it. I really don't care personally. The beauty of art is, even though a lot of younger, modern artists say differently, you really do get to do what you want. It's absolutely insane to me that having a basic art style can infuriate a community. And of course, if you've been following my channel, you know that my opinion is that those are the artists that aren't that good. You literally have a right to your own style. Now, people have a right to like it or dislike it, but the way you dislike it, that says a lot.
She even got fixing art videos that I stumbled across. And she also reposted them on her story saying, this is not okay. And she's totally right. I made a whole video on quote-unquote fixing art, but just so you know, that's not a good thing. And it went as far as many threats, which is absolutely disgusting. It is never that deep.
Listen, I don't mean to be sexist, but it always seems to me that when these type of things happen, it's always a girl draws something cool and then a bunch of other girls attack her. I rarely see guys involved in this. I rarely even see guys being the victim of this kind of stuff. The only guy that I know that gets, really attacked by the art community over his style is J. Scott Campbell because of how he draws women. The guy who drew the cover for Spider-Man 601. I've heard that he charges $500 to draw a figure, and that's if he decides that he likes it. There's no telling what his page rate is, and I wouldn't even ask what his cover rate is. Guys like him can get anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a cover. And on top of that, it only happened like once or twice a year, and it happened back when everybody was being canceled and they were trying to get the older men out of comic books. And well, obviously it didn't work. My point is, it seems like Mean Girl shit. Hey, you're a popular artist. I hate you because I'm not popular. Or hey, you got kind of a cute style. You could become popular. I hate you because your style is cute. That seems like what it is. I don't see anything beyond that. If there's something there, please tell me because I'm missing it.
If your first thought after seeing a harmless drawing you don't like is to tell them to off themselves, please put the phone down. This hate got so ridiculous, people even questioned whether or not she was problematic.
I couldn't help but to acknowledge the person who was asking for some common sense clarification seems to be, a dude. That being said, I'm only going by names, and you can have any name on the internet, so. And real quick, this is not to say that all the aggressors are women. There's obviously women in her corner as well, hence Ray Draw's video. But, correct me if I'm wrong. I couldn't imagine a guy being caught doing this kind of thing and walking away from it with his head held high.
And do I blame these people? No. I mean, if I saw that level of hate, hell, I'd ask that too. That's how ridiculous the haters sound.
And sometimes they'll seek out things you did to try to say that you're problematic or create some reason to say you're problematic. This is general art community discussion between TikTok and Twitter. And it can be worse on Twitter because you got people from other places coming in who may not even be artists. They just may want to go after someone they perceive to be problematic. And again, you know how the perception of problematic goes.
This is such a huge reaction over a non-problem. And for those wondering, Auba herself stated her style is out of choice. It is for fun. She knows anatomy pretty damn well. I mean, look at this. It's stunning. And so is her style.
Yo, listen. Her shit better than my shit. I tell you flat out. Facts is facts, and they don't care about your feelings. If you can't look at your art and see it for what it is without being jealous, you can watch a million PewDiePie videos, but you're not gonna grow.
She knows anatomy, but since it's style, it will be stylized. That is quite literally how styles work. For ages we have seen insane anatomy and styles, but it's only ever a problem when you personally aren't fond of it. Give me a break.
Yeah, just like I said, this is mean girl shit. This is somebody looking at this artist and going, that artist draws better than me. I need to be a bitch about it. Because, say it with me, my shit ain't that good. Good. You guys get it by now. And I do want to make a point here that sometimes that artist is actually pretty good, but they don't think they're that good. And so they still have the same reaction. That person's better than me. Now, going back to my initial point is that a lot of people on TikTok aren't real artists. They're just assholes who can draw. The way you do this is when you see an artist who's better than you do like the AI. You scrape it. You learn from this shit. No, seriously, that's what artists would do back in the day. Artists would see another artist and go, oh my God, that looks cool. I'm gonna do that. What can I take from this artist that they're doing that's dope? And dude, back in my day, you had like 100 people drawing in the same style. Everybody wanted to draw like Lee McFarlane, J. Scott Campbell, Eric Larson. Everybody wanted to draw like those big name artists. And nobody gave a damn. They were very open to, like, you would see somebody's sketchbook and see who they were drawing like. And they were very open about it.
All right. This right here, this portfolio, is the 4-page comic submission that started my career. I haven't pulled these out of here for probably 20 years now. All right, so this is the first page. As you can see, it's pretty detailed. It was for Wildcats. This was when Wildcats and Image Comics were at their peak. I forget what the date on it was. Let me see if I can find a date. So I could, you can see how detailed it is compared to my size of my hand. I don't remember the names of the characters. He looks alright. I was heavily referencing the characters, in all this.
So if you wonder why a lot of times I have this I don't care attitude, comic book companies had what's called a house style. So that means if you drew for Marvel or you drew for DC, everybody drew somewhat similarly. So everybody had to have this one style. It wasn't until later when artists started kind of breaking that and they started having their own styles. You could tell a Lee Field from a Lee. You could tell a Lee from a McFarlane. You could tell a Silvestri. They all had their own different styles, and that's what made them popular, and that's what made people go crazy over them. But even before then, you had, obviously, Jack Kirby, Joe Kubert, John Byrne, Neil Adams, who's a favorite of mine. All of these guys had a style that people can look back on and go, oh man. And a lot of the new artists were influenced by the old artists. They looked at that stuff and said, man, this is mind-blowing. I want to do what this guy did. And like I said, whoever the popular artist was, that's who people drew like. Now, you may have your own influence, but you were trying to draw like the other guy. I couldn't imagine some of the stuff going on today where artists would say, don't draw like me. That's crazy to me. Now, I know one time that happened with Frank Miller where he said, where Jim Lee was doing a book and he was kind of using that style Frank Miller used for Sin City. But that style was so iconic. Frank Miller was like, hey man, come on, that's my thing. And yeah, it was like, okay, cool.
People constantly want on TikTok about overrated styles and the same 5 styles being recycled on there, but I wonder why. It's because there's a constant hate for anything that's unique. Don't like it? Fine, you're not obligated to. But going to these lengths, hate, threats, goddamn videos dedicated to hating, it's so unnecessary. There is a scrolling feature, there is a block feature, there is a non-interested feature, there are specific buttons on the screen of your phone that turns the phone off. You have all these options, just use it.
But see, the point she's missing is that an asshole wants to be an asshole, and I think she's trying to be kind of nice and she's afraid to call an asshole an asshole. Part of what they want to do is to be mad at this artist because, again, artist is probably better than them or they feel the artist is better than them. So, yeah, the goal is to be mean to this artist. No, they're not going to block. No, they're not going to scroll by. They want to be mean to this person because they're an asshole. And their art is probably trash. And even if their art's not trash, they probably think it's trash. Because the stuff that she's showing goes way beyond, I just don't like this style. And also, there's a thing with internet discourse where people on the internet have learned, when you don't like something, you can just talk shit on people. You can just say what you want to somebody because you're not there in person, so they won't jaw jack you. So you can just say what you want. You're a little keyboard warrior. And again, I want to say, I'm not promoting violence, even though there are some cases where, it's warranted.
A 20-something former Navy Special Forces member who recently attacked Somali was arrested and questioned by police, although he was subsequently released.
But I'm generally against violence for basic disagreements that can be talked out. And that's about 100% of disagreements in the art community.
And to make it worse, some weren't even bullying just the style, but the features themselves. People were saying she's promoting ugly features and drawing too many ugly people, and it's sickening. What is wrong with you? Auba is drawing features she finds beautiful, and I find them beautiful too. Me and many others love her work.
Now, this is an argument I didn't understand. Ugly features? I'm going to be very honest. If you go look at her work, you'll see why people are mad. Her shit is on par with some of the professional cartoonists. Like the look and style of it is more of a professional cartoonist style. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post her link in the description, but I'm going to post some of the video here.
A month ago, I drew a Miku fan art, not planning anything, just practicing to get over my art block that had been going all summer. I uploaded and keep going on with my life since my reach on my videos recently were going really bad. When suddenly... a comment? Wonder what it says. This art style is so shitty. Well, at least no one else thinks that. Fuck! At first, not gonna lie, they affected me. I really acted like they didn't, but something in me felt wrong. It was one of my first finished drawings after a full summer in art blog, and the comments were just negative.
Shit, I'm jealous of her coloring ability alone. I'm done drawing something, I send that off to the colorist. That's out my hands. I might do some flatness stuff, but other than that, that's out of my hands. On to the next thing. If she wanted to do a comic book in this style, that style would be tight. Especially if it was like some action adventure comic or like some kind of gritty urban comic in that style, even though it's like a cartoony style. Dude, she could monetize this. Bro, people are peeps. It's like, you may not always know what you know, but people know. They're peeping her style and they know that she got something there and they like, damn, my shit ain't that tight. And I'm sure some of the people harassing her are dudes, But can you imagine being a guy and getting called out for harassing this girl? Do you know how pathetic you would look? Do you know how bitch you would look if you were ever caught harassing a girl over this because her style is better than yours, which is what this is really about? Her style is ugly, quote unquote. I hope she goes on to make a comic book, make something really nice, make a lot of money, start making prints and doing covers and stuff like that, making that good money. That'll make them really mad, and then they'll try to cancel you, but you won't care because everybody will be like, damn, her shit dope. You know, I also want to see a comic book done in the jelly style. I want to see that shit just to piss people. First off, the jelly style is actually nice. That's a nice style, especially when you're drawing women. Style's hot, straight up. Come to think of it, that's another money style. That's another hot style. It seems that people are getting pissed off over styles that they believe are possibly monetizable. You know, I think a lot of younger artists are kind of anti-capitalist. So they see a style that they think that artists might be able to bank on, and then they get mad about it. It might not be something conscious, but it just might be something subconscious where they look at it and go, they might be able to make money off of that. I think there may be this idea, and it's just a theory, that there may be this ideal in the modern art community that everybody should kind of draw similarly so that nobody really stands out, and therefore there's no real competition. So the person that stands out, and they stand out strongly, has an opportunity to possibly make more money or possibly be, scouted by some company or something if their art's really good. And I think people are noticing that, and they're getting a little jealous, possibly for multiple reasons. The obvious reason being, hey, that person's art looks better than mine. I will link Bray Draws and Raak00nz videos in the description. Bray actually does an interview with Raak00nz in her video, so be sure to check that out. So other than that, you guys take it easy. Nathan Brandon Masters, Asta.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind.